Alright, douchebags, welcome to the shed. So this is project 001. I'm going to build a simple welding table. The purpose of this table is just to sort of allow me to clamp stuff down with F-clamps when I'm welding and keep the heat off this wooden table basically. I've already screwed down a bit of galvanized sheet steel to stop me burning holes through the table from anything dripping off, and all these bits of box section I've got ordered from an online place. Pre-cut. The tolerance was 0 to +3, so they're all a tiny bit too long. So the first job will be dropping those to make sure they're the correct length. Dimensions are 400 by 400 mil, made out of 30 by 15 and 40 by 20 mil box section. The original design had this little plate in the corner, which was for doing small stuff, but now that I have it, I don't think it's going to be particularly useful. I'll show you why in a minute. This is the fit up pre-weld. So I've got this plate in the corner which is for small stuff. It's not actually flush with the rest of the welding table, so I think I'm either going to leave it out entirely or just have it loose so that I can remove it when I'm not using it. The gap in between the pieces of box section is quite a accurate dimension to keep the overall dimensions 400 by 400. It's at 31.67 millimeters. So rather than having to measure that out every single time, I've just made these little 3D printed jigs so they sit in between the sections and make sure that the spacing's correct every single time. So the next job is to cut all the sections to make sure they are all 400 millimeters in length. Once that's done, then I'm just going to clean up the area and start tacking it together. Right, so to speed up production for cutting all of these to exactly 400 mil, what I've done is I've taken a piece, I've scored it at exactly 400 mil, and then I've buttoned it up against this piece of wood, and then I've clamped down my mitre saw here. I've checked that it's all square, so I've got a little tiny engineering square, so I checked that the blade was straight both in the X and Y axis. And now the plan is just to kind of work my way through this pile of 400 mil long pieces of box section and cut them so they're all exactly the same. Okay, that's worked well, so that's bang on 400 mil now, so I'm just going to do the rest of these.
I ordered some steel from the internet store. Just needed 400 millimeters. No, that's no more. But when it arrived, it was 2 millimeters too long. Now I'm back with my saw, cutting sections to this song. Oh, I'm cutting bits of box section with the song in my head, with the mitre saw buzzing in my garden shed. If they could send the right length, they'll be done in no time. But I'm here in my workshop, and I'm losing my mind. I measured it twice, yeah, I checked every end, but that supplier's cutting is just pretend. Half of it's crooked and the rest kinda bent. Now I'm hacking and grinding and I'm losing my mind. Oh, I'm cutting bits of box section with the song in my head, with a mitre saw buzzing in my garden shed. If they just send the right length, they'll be done in no time. But I'm here in my workshop, and I'm losing my mind. I measured it twice, yeah, I checked every end, but that supplier's cutting is just pretend. Half of it's crooked and the rest kinda bent. Now I'm hacking and grinding and I ain't paying rent. Oh, I'm cutting bits of box section with the song in my head, with the mitre saw buzzing in my garden shed. If they just send the right length, they'll be done in no time. But I'm here in my workshop, and I'm losing my mind. All I asked for was a nice, even line, straight and true, not a guessing game design. But now I'm here sweating, making sparks fly around. With each clank of the blade, I'm losing more ground. Oh, one's a bit short and the next one's too long. The supplier's delivery is all kinds of wrong. I call them and shout, but they just put me on hold. So I'll sing to my saw as it bites through the cold. Oh, I'm cutting bits of box section with the song in my head, with a mitre saw buzzing in my garden shed. If they just send the right length, they'll be done in no time. But I'm here in my patience is gone, just a humble steel cutter singing box section songs.
Okay, welding time. So plan is to tack it together with these two cross sections here, get it all nice and square, and then I'm going to use this little jig to get all the little intermediate pieces in place. And then I'm going to weld them all together. Because we're only welding on one side, I'm only going to tack it because if we put too much heat into the top, then this whole thing's going to basically banana itself, and then it's going to be a crappy welding table. So first thing to do is to clean up the area for the welds. I'm not going to clean up too much because I don't want to remove much of this mill scale on it, because that's going to protect it from corrosion. So let's get started. The method of welding I'm going to be using is flux core. It's quite popular with beginners because you don't require any shielding gas. All the shielding is done by flux. It's in the central core of the wire. It's going to turn the amps down to about 60, because this is very thin metal. It's 1.5 mil thick, so if I use too higher amps, then I'll just blow through.
On shed 14 where the sparks do fly, I'm tacking up this table with a twinkle in my eye. Clamps in place, got the welding mask on. Gonna make this beauty sturdy, gonna make it strong. Oh, tack, tack, tacking it down. Shed 14's where the fucking welding goes down. Bit by bit, one spark at a time. This table's looking sturdy and it's feeling fine. Got my flux core prepped and the metal set right. Little pops and buzzes lighten up the night. A quick little zap and the pieces start to hold. Ship 14's getting hot, but the welds are cold. Oh, tack, tack, tacking it down.
Right, so that's the first part of the frame welded together. I just checked it with a square, and it is all nice and square. There's a tiny bit of rattle. That's not too bad actually, so it hasn't warped too much. I just did these little tack welds, which aren't the most beautiful things in the world, but seem pretty strong and hasn't warped, and it's nice and square. So the next step is to put these little jigs in, and from there I'll put the rest of these slats in and space them out evenly, and then go ahead and tack them in place as well.
14's where the fucking welding goes down. Bit by bit, one spark at a time. This table's looking sturdy and it's feeling fine. Got my flux core prepped and the metal set right. Little pops and buzzes lighten up the night. A quick little zap and the pieces start to hold. Ship 14's getting hot, but the welds are cold. Tack, tack, tacking it down. Ship 14's where the fucking welding goes down. Watch it come together like a fucking machine. Tacking up a table like you've never seen. Steel on steel like a fiery dance. One wrong move and I'll melt my pants. Hold it steady, keep the pace. Just a couple more zaps, then I'll weld the face. Oh, and tack, tack, tacking it down. Ship 14's where the fucking welding goes down. Sparks in the air and a little bit of smoke. This table's built strong, it's no joke. So here's to the table and here's to the shed. With tack wells laid down, my work is spread. Tacking in shed 14, it's a sight to see. Now speed up the footage and jam with me.
Right, that's all done now, all tacked together. Feels pretty solid, so I think that's done now. So I'm going to use that for some future projects. It doesn't seem to kind of wobble at all, so I don't think it's warped. Yeah, quite happy with that.